Ladies and gentlemen, imagine standing in one of Copenhagen's most beautiful cultural landmarks, the new Carlsberg Glyptotek. The lights are warm, the air feels expectant, and at the center of the room, world-class research is about to be honored. And then, Her Majesty Queen Mary steps forward, not to speak of royal tradition or ceremony, but to celebrate science and ideas that are reshaping our future. This evening, Denmark shined a spotlight on two brilliant minds at the Carlsberg Foundation Research Awards 2025. These awards are not just about medals or applause, they carry a weight of 2 million kroner each, with most of that dedicated directly to advancing new research, and part of it given as a personal recognition of honor. Now, let's meet the laureates who stood in that spotlight. First, Professor Claus Molmer of the Niels Bohr Institute at the University of Copenhagen. If you've ever heard of quantum computers, the machines that could one day outpace every supercomputer we know, you've touched the edge of his world. Professor Molmer is a pioneer in theoretical quantum optics and quantum mechanics. His ideas are not only abstract equations, they've laid the foundation for real experiments, real technologies. One of his most famous contributions, the Molmer-Sorensen gate, is actually used in prototypes of quantum computers today. That's the kind of research that doesn't just win awards, it changes the way we imagine the future. Then, we turn to Professor Claes Holger de Vries, head of the Digital Democracy Center at the University of Southern Denmark. His field may seem very different, but it's just as urgent for the times we live in. While Molmer peers into the quantum world, de Vries looks into the digital one, the algorithms, artificial intelligence, and online platforms that shape our democracies. His internationally recognized work asks big questions. How do algorithms influence elections? How does AI affect public trust in media? And what happens to democracy when machines begin shaping the information we see? Together, these two scholars represent a fascinating contrast. On one hand, the mysteries of physics and the potential of quantum technology. On the other, the social realities of AI and democracy. One dives into the smallest particles of existence, the other into the fabric of our civic life. And yet, both are united by the same principle, knowledge that reshapes how humanity moves forward. Now, why does this matter so much? Because awards like these do more than celebrate the past. They invest in the future. 1.5 million kroner from each prize goes directly back into research, fueling bold ideas and projects that might otherwise remain only as dreams. It's about empowering the very people who dare to ask the hardest questions. And of course, the ceremony itself matters. By having Queen Mary of Denmark and the Minister of Education and Research, Christina Egelund, hand over the awards, it shows the country's deep respect for scholarship. It sends a message: Denmark doesn't just value culture and tradition, it values knowledge, curiosity, and innovation just as highly. So, what can we take away from tonight's celebration? That the future of humanity lies both in understanding the invisible world of atoms and in navigating the invisible codes that shape our societies. Professor Claus Molmer and Professor Claes Holger de Vries remind us that whether it's quantum physics or digital democracy, research is not a distant, academic exercise, it is the very engine of progress. And as the applause echoed through the halls of the Glyptotek, one thing was clear: this was not just an evening of awards, it was a promise to the future. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe my channel.